Welcome to my chemistry YouTube channel. This is our lecture 4 in valence bond theory series, and in this lecture we will see a tetrahedral complexes having sp3 hybridization. Moreover, I will also give some tricks which will help to identify the tetrahedral complexes. Let's start our discussion. Now imagine that a complex is having sp3 hybridization and the s atomic orbital of the metal as well as the px, py and pz empty atomic orbital of the metal now will they undergo process of sp3 hybridization and will give rise to 4 sp3 hybrid orbital. If you look at the shape of the s atomic orbital has a spherical in nature, whereas the px, py and pz having dumbbell shape. On the other hand, please note the point, the 4 sp3 hybrid orbital, the shape and energy are equivalent and they are significantly different as compared to the pure atomic orbital counterparts. Moreover, their energy has changed drastically. Furthermore, these 4 sp3 hybrid orbital now will arrange themselves in the shape and they will give the tetrahedral geometry. The angle between these two will nearly 109.5. Okay, so that point you have to keep in the mind, that how these atomic orbital rearrange in the shape and will give a tetrahedral kind of geometry. So let us take now some example and we will try to discuss the chemical nature and the bonding characteristics in complexes. So let us take some example. So we have a nickel chloride complex and having -2 charge. Here I am taking our next complex of nickel and CO by 4, and on the complex we have 0 charge. So firstly, whatever the complex is, that you need to find out the charge on the metal ion as well as its coordination number. So Cl is a monoidal ligand and you know that the coordination number is equal to 4. Here nickel is having a +2 charge and chloride is our ligand, and you know the chloride ion is a weak field ligand. Please keep in the mind. Now if I take the nickel in a 0 state, you know that this is a 3d8 and a 4s2 electronic configuration, and in this complex we have nickel +2. So nickel +2, that means the 2 electrons are removed from that and ultimately we will be having a 3d8 and 4s0. So if I write down now 3d8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. Now this is 4s is empty and now we have also a 4p, okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have a 4p also. Now 8, this is my 4s0 and this is a 4p0, and here we have 3d8. So if I am putting the electron 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8, and these are empty. Now when this nickel +2 ion now react with this 4 Cl- ion ligand, and I already told you that the Cl- ions are having a weak field nature and hence they do not have strength to pair the electron in the complex, and therefore if I now write down the electronic configuration in the complex, please do remember that the Cl- ions are not a strong field ligand and hence the electronic distribution in the d orbital will be the same as like the metal ion, and hence we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8, this is my 3d8 system, and this is a 4s and 4p orbital of the metal. This is a 4s0 and 4p0. So afterwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 s and 3 atomic orbital which are empty will undergo the sp3 hybridization, and they will give 4 equivalent sp3 hybrid orbital. Afterwards, what happened? The Cl minus ion will try to form the linkages with this complex. So remember that the one Cl minus ion giving the 2 electron, and hence I am writing this is the 2 electron. One Cl minus ion is giving the 2 electron to the hybrid orbital of the metal, and this is how the bonding takes place. Cl minus ion. So if I write down the structure of the complex, here I am writing. So this will be tetrahedral in nature. We have a nickel plus 2 ion, and nickel plus 2 ion we have Cl here, Cl here, and Cl here. Okay, and this will be having a -2 charge on the complex, and this will be a tetrahedral in a nature. Right? Now, next thing you should know what are the value of unpaired electron in the complex. Remember, this is my metal ion. Always you need to find out the number of n in a complex. So in the complex we have these two pair and 1 and 2, and hence I can write down the number of unpaired electron in the complex is equal to 2, and hence this is my paramagnetic complex. So firstly, whatever the complex we have in coordination number, metal ion, electronic system, and you should also know the nature of the ligand in the complex. And remember that when we have a strong field ligand, electron will start pairing up in the d orbital, and if you weak field ligand, the electron will not undergo pairing. Now here in the next, let's discuss this complex. This is tetracarbonyl nickel complex. In this complex, we also have coordination number is equal to 4. Here a nickel is having a 0 charge. Okay, and remember that a CO ligand is a strong field ligand, and strong field ligand, you know, the electron undergoes a pairing. But if I write down nickel 0 electronic configuration, this is a free nickel 0. We know that we have 3d8 system, and this is my 4s2 system. Now let's write down the electronic configuration of this one. We have the total, we have a d8 system. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. This is 7. This is 8, and we have now 4s2. Right? This is 4s2. Now what happened in this case? Now since this CO is a strong field ligand, electron from s orbital will undergo the pairing in the d orbital, and hence if I now write down the electronic configuration of my complex, I'll be having a different electronic arrangement. This is I have charge 0. As I told, that electron will start pairing up. So here what happened in D8, this is my D series, and this is my S, and this is my P. Okay, so as I told that CO is a strong field ligand, electron undergo pairing, and 4s electron shifted to now 3d orbital, and then it was 3d8. Now this is now become 3d10. This is now become 3d10, and this is 4s0, and this is 4p0, and hence the all electron will undergo pairing in the d orbital, and this is how the things happen. Now point is that since all d orbitals are completely filled, therefore this d orbital cannot take part in the bonding. What left? Yes orbital left, and p orbital left. Afterwards, these empty 4s and 4p atomic orbitals of the metal will undergo the sp3 hybridization and they will form the bonding. So the CO, we know CO is a neutral ligand and it will give the 2 electron. I am writing here this is 2 electron by each CO ligand, and this is the nature of the bonding. Okay, I am writing here the structure of the complex and it will help you to understand in better way. So I have nickel tetracarbonyl complex, and we have CO here, we have CO here, and we have CO here. So you can see that this is a tetrahedral complex. Okay, so geometry is what? Geometry is tetrahedral. Next thing is hybridization. Hybridization was sp3 hybridization. Now next count the value of unpaired electron in the complex. We know that all the orbitals are filled and hence the unpaired electron in the complex is equal to 0, and when n is equal to 0, remember that this complex has the diamagnetic nature. So the first, this complex, we know that this complex was having sp3 hybridization and this is was having n equal to 2. So the first complexes was having n equal to 2. The complex was paramagnetic in nature. This is we have paramagnetic complex, and the tetracarbonyl nickel is a diamagnetic complex. Finally the both was tetrahedral complexes, but in one case complex is paramagnetic in nature and in second case a complex is diamagnetic in nature. So please do remember that all tetrahedral complexes are not paramagnetic in nature. There are many complexes which are tetrahedral but still they are diamagnetic nature. So this is the way you need to understand the complex chemistry. Now here in this afterwards I will give us some tricks, because in the coordination chemistry tricks are more important, and for the tricks you should understand the electronic configuration of the metal as well as the nature of the ligand. As I told you already, there are two geometries are possible. One can be square planar and one can be tetrahedral. So remember that the tetrahedral complexes, we need to identify the complex. Okay, so firstly you should identify the metal ion. Remember, metal ion, or you need to find out metal atom and what is the electronic configuration of that metal ion. Now remember that whenever this metal ion has noble gas electronic configuration like NS0, this is noble gas electronic configuration NS0, or it can be also pseudo noble gas electronic configuration, means N-1 D10 NS0 and NP6. So noble gas electronic configuration metal as well as pseudo noble gas electronic configuration metal ion generally exhibit tetrahedral complexes. Furthermore, you should also know that there are some metal ion, especially cobalt plus 2 ion. Remember that cobalt plus 2 ion has a 3D7 system, and cobalt plus 2 ion having coordination number 4 mostly are the tetrahedral complexes. So when we need to find out the metal ion, you need to always go for this electronic configuration, and remember that noble gas, pseudo noble gas electronic configuration as well as cobalt plus 2 ion exhibit the tetrahedral complexes. Now next is the ligand nature. Ligands are also an important factor. In the ligands, you should keep in the mind tetrahedral complexes are generally shown by the large ligand. and the ligands are generally weak field ligand. So large ligand and weak field ligand generally shows a tetrahedral complexes. We know that when we have coordination number 4, the geometry can be tetrahedral or it can be now a square planar geometry. Am I right? So when we have tetrahedral complexes, in a tetrahedral, now the hybridization, remember that hybridization can be sp3 hybridization, or important point, it can be also sd3 hybridization. And if we have complex square planar, in a square planar complexes, we may have dsp2 hybridization, or it can be also sp2d hybridization. And this sp2d hybridization for square planar generally shows by copper plus 2 ion. And this are important point, sd3, we will discuss that later. Today's our discussion is mostly focused on tetrahedral complexes having sp3 hybridization. So it's time to discuss some more complex in this regard. So please do remember that when we need to have identify the complexes, you need to know the ligands as well as the metal ion. Now directly we can identify the complex nature. Let's say we have zinc plus 2 ion and cadmium plus 2 ion and also mercury plus 2 ion, right? All these having D10 electron configuration. Zinc plus 2 3D10, cadmium plus 2 4D10 and mercury plus 2 5D10. This is the D10 system. Now this is D10 system is nothing but the kind of pseudo electronic configuration, and hence if I take zinc complex now, zinc amine complex with coordination number 4, right? Now I can take a cadmium chloride complex with coordination number 4, or I may have the mercury tetracyano complex. I can again take some complex example if you want. Zinc tetracyano complex having -2 charge. So in the all complex, you might have realized that zinc plus 2 ion, cadmium plus 2 ion, mercury plus 2 ion. Remember that all these complexes have the coordination number is equal to 4, right? And all are D10 electronic system, and hence we will have only a tetrahedral complexes. Moreover, the unpaired electron in the complex is 0, and hence these are the diamagnetic complex. You should have the knowledge of the ligand as well as the metal ion electronic configuration. Moving further for more discussion. Furthermore, please do remember that manganese plus 2 ion in a coordination number 4. Suppose I am having manganese plus 2 ion, and let's take one complexes of the type MnL4 nature, MnL4 nature, and some we have plus minus charge here, no problem. So manganese plus 4 in a coordination number 4 having 3d5 system. So in a coordination number 4 with the weak field ligand, it always exhibit the sp3 hybridization, and this is nothing but a tetrahedral complexes. If you want, you can take many complexes of the type. We can have MnCl by 4 -2 complex, or Mn Br by 4 -2 complexes, and all the cases you will see that these complexes have N is equal to 5, and these are the paramagnetic in nature, because Cl- and Br- are the large size ligand, and also they are weak field ligand. Furthermore, now I can take a cobalt plus 2 ion. Remember, a cobalt plus 2 ion, and this is nothing but 3d7 system. And when we have coordination number 4 with the weak free ligand, it is also exhibit the sp3 hybridization. And if I take the value of n, so we have 7 means, can I know here now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7, and this is n is equal to 3 in the complex, and the complex having the paramagnetic nature. So manganese cobalt plus 2. Furthermore, you should know that the iron plus 2 and iron plus 3, iron plus 2 as well as iron plus 3. So iron plus 2 and iron plus 3. This is also shown the coordination number 4, and we have here 3d6 system, and this is why we have 3d5 system. And if we have coordination number 4, remember we have coordination number 4, and if you have coordination number 4 in the both the cases with the weak field ligand iron plus 2 and iron plus 3, they will show the sp3 kind of hybridization, and geometry will be a tetrahedral in nature. And this is how we need to find out the complex chemistry. Furthermore, remember that the copper plus 1 ion, a copper plus 1 ion has 3d10 electronic system. Am I right? Now silver plus 2, silver plus 1, sorry, silver plus 1, silver plus 1 has the 4d10 electronic system. And these two ion, it has been found that when we have coordination number 4, this is also shows the sp3 hybridization and complex tetrahedral, n is equal to 0, and this is nothing but a diamagnetic complex. Right? So if we have a D10 system, let's take we have now nickel CO by 4 complex, or if we have palladium CO by 4 complex, and we have a platinum CO by 4 complex. All these complex has sp3 nature, n is equal to 0, and this is nothing but a diamagnetic complex, because all these are the D10 electronic system. So the some point you have to keep in the mind properly, because or else you will be having problem in finding out the coordination number and the geometry of the complexes. So as I told you already, the charge, metal ion and all the things are very important if you wanted to understand the coordination number as well as the geometry of